Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and I find myself once more embroiled in Steve Jackson's Sorcery. An epic, by all means. Now, at this point in time, I am deeply immersed in the forest of Snatter, being followed and watched by something, probably a Snatter cat. And I have some serious concerns. Namely among them is the fact that I defeated but one serpent and 6 remain. The location of 2 is known. Where did the time serpent go? This is the water serpent. The time serpent was visible. There we go, the time serpent. So we know where 2 of them are. And I can't shake this annoying feeling that the first one has got to be in this area somewhere. The fire serpent was following me and intends to attack me when I rest. It cannot go into the past, so when the beacons shine and create the past, it's as if only I am affected by the beacons. Right? My second concern is that, I've now explored over a third of the map, so I should have had opportunities to, and there's still 6 serpents remaining. I would hope at least one would be in this area. We have a beacon here, which we can utilize, and something down here that doesn't quite look like a beacon. Another beacon here. So yeah, my next concern is that the beacons might be used in Book 3 instead of the Z spell. Oh, there's one up here as well. Just shine it on the town. Alright. So, I am feeling that yes, I'll get to this one and teleport back over here again to do more stuff, but I don't rightly know. So let's see how things develop. You erupt from the trees onto an old path that winds a narrow course through the forest. The trees loom around you, twisted and old. You explored the forest in the Shamutanti Hills where you met Aliana, but that was a mere copse in comparison to this. And bizarrely, somehow I believe she's still in this book somewhere and we can meet her again at a new location. And she suddenly has become the blue-skinned sorceress we see on the front cover of the book, even though there was no mention of her being blue at all previously when we met her the first time. The forest of Snatter is ancient, and it is a maze. There are no roads through it, only twisted paths and dead ends. But who knows what secrets it may hide? The forest by night is a terrifying place, full of strange noises and shifting shadows. You are certain something is following you, but when you turn, there is nothing there. Given that my combat effectiveness is reduced, I should look and see what magical options are available to me. Come on. Yaz. What's Yaz? Yaz is... Nope. The ring was, I believe, stolen. Sun. The sun jewel was also stolen. Sus. Yes. You bind the stars into a pattern around you, and then a steady voice begins to speak to you. This part of the forest is thick with snattercats, the voice informs you. They are invisible unless they have their eyes open, but their sense of smell is good enough to track you down. Stopping and looking... No. No. See, I've already been warned. I might be able to see footsteps or something. Or footprints, rather. You don't see footsteps, you hear them. Or take them, or make them, in fact. So I'd better just keep moving. You pick up your pace. If you walk for long enough, after all, the sun will rise. East or south? Well, east should take me towards this. But there's a lot more to the south that I should explore. Right, so fighting fantasy rules, go south, go east when you can't go north. However, unless you have a very good reason not to. And in this case, a very good reason is all this space over here to explore. And there's a path here that will let me get to this same location. That being said, this game has been very generous in allowing me to backtrack a lot, but, you know, provisions, food, yeah. Am I supposed to just use prayer as a replacement for provisions? I kind of want to... Yeah, I'm going to go east. Oh, no, now my... Right, so, this part of the forest is thick with snattercats. This part of the forest over here, further away. This part, more of the same, right? Ooh. I really want to go this way, to this clearing. And this hovel. I also want to try and find the other serpents. And so far I've not had a lot of luck doing that. I have plenty of clues. While I really want to go east, I shall push on to the south and hope nothing too bad happens. You walk on between the trees. In the distance, the sun breaks over the horizon. You have been awake all night and are weaker for it. Something massive looms between the trees south of here, probably the broken bridge. You march on. You must reach Ilklala and the road to Lower Zaman. Every passing day brings danger. Unless I can catch them all. You follow what might be a path and might be an old river through the trees of the forest. As the sun climbs towards its zenith, the winds pick up. You are standing in the shadow of some colossal stone structure that rises up from the trees and disappears into the clouds. You continue to walk. I mean, if I did go onto the bridge, I wouldn't be able to cross it anyway unless I had both beacons. Oh! Highlighting it. Now, this would look different if I had the beacons shining on it, I'm sure. Unless it's a gap in the middle that the beacons can't quite cover where I would have to navigate my way across. Things rustle in the branches all around. The sun is hot now. You emerge into something of a clearing with a stone pillar at its heart. Not a tower, but one leg of an enormous arch. Who could have built such an incredible thing, and how long ago was it done? I'm going to go with people. The trees are thinner, replaced by climbing weeds and shrubs that grow in and around the broken stones of the bridge. You make your way to a point where the path splits. I'll look up at the arch. You crane your neck back to look at the stone pillar. It is made of bricks, each one a normal size, but thousands upon thousands in number. They climb up into the air in a stack no wider than a tree, but 3 times taller than the tallest in the forest. I'll keep looking up. I'll try not to fall backwards. Might have to lie down on my back to take it all in. Then, almost beyond what you can see, the bridge begins to form a curve, branching into the beginning of an arch. But the rest of the arch has crumbled into ruin, and its single leg is all that remains. The pillar might be climbable, otherwise several paths lead into the trees. If I climb the pillar, there might be something on top that I can pick up. So, let's pretend there was a beacon up here on top of the bridge in the past, and now in the future the bridge is very, very broken. And I could go up there and get the crystal from that beacon, and then climb back down, shine the beacons on it, and then the beacon would be back here in the past with its crystal, which I have in the future, creating one hell of a paradox. I am curious to know what I could possibly find. Well, first off, head west, head south. Okay. I'm curious to... all these things down here. I need to try to find the Earth Serpent, the Sun Serpent, the Time Serpent, the Air Serpent. Earth, Sun, Time, Air. I'm missing one more. Because I've already dealt with the Moon. I know the water and the water is. And time. Yeah, so there's one. I'm missing Air, Fire, Earth, and Sun. Air and Earth could be anywhere. I want to climb up here. I'm going to regret it if it costs me a lot of stamina. Intrigued, you approach one of the brick pillars to see if it might be climbable. Indeed, the stones are worn and filled with pock-marked holes for finger grips, but you cannot seem to manage the climb up while holding your sword. You will have to unbuckle your blade if you want to climb up. Well, in theory, nothing's going to come and steal my sword while I'm up there. And I can make it safely back down to reclaim it. If I get into danger up there, and, suffer and die up there, if I get stuck up there and I'm unable to climb down, then I don't need my sword anyway. So, yes. This seems like the kind of temporary sacrifice which could put me in a slightly bad situation, but... oh, yeah, climbing. You unbuckle your weapon and leave them in a tidy pile at the foot of the pillar, covering them over with... yes, weapons. I had 2. Over with large leaves. Then you begin to climb. What do you reckon, about 4 stamina? I'm pretty sure that'd be a fatal drop coming down. I'm talking about climbing cost. The going is tough, and once you start, you begin to understand quite how tall the stone pillar is. You have barely reached the forest canopy when you need to stop for breath, and at some time, you're not even a third of the way to the top of the arch. I was like a third of the way up, and I saw that word "of," and my eyes slipped. Yeah. Gotta keep going. I've committed to it. If I give up and go down to the bottom now, I'll have to start all over again, You keep climbing. After 5 more minutes, your arms are aching with the effort, but you have an incredible view across the forest. It fills this basin from the mountains in the east to those in the west. Its canopy is so tightly self-entwined it is almost like a sea. The top of the bridge is still some distance above you. I mean, I should be able to cast Fall and just float down, right? That's what I'm banking on. If the Air Serpent comes and tries to blow me off, that would have been a really good time for the Air Serpent to attack, actually. You climb even higher until your arms begin to scream with pain. You are so high up now that to drop would not simply be fatal. It would be enough to bury you 6 feet into the earth. Before your arms give out, you swing yourself onto one of the bridge's levels to rest. Oh, I'm gonna... yeah. Oh, just let the aching pains just soothe away. This is an opportunity to spy out where the serpents might be. This is a lower roadway, 1 layer down from the top of the bridge. Perhaps it was used for servants or goods trucks. Trucks? Brum brum. When the road above was for nobles. At any rate, there seems to be no stairs or ramps to the higher level, but the view is incredible. I will gaze down upon the forest, no, peer. Looking down into the forest, you can make out a tower through the tree tops to the southeast. Brass shines from its top. Looking southwest, you see a flash of fire through the trees, squirming and moving in a curious way. Oh, really? So it is still following me. And to the northeast, you see curling smoke rising as though from a chimney stack, though you cannot see a house. I think that could be the village of Khare. Or if it's in the forest, northeast. Oh, that hut! Is that the witch's house? That's an Why, hey! There's an interesting thought indeed. I should go that way. The wind blasts through the arches for a moment, making a fluting, moaning sound. I'll look at the eastern mountains. Turning your eyes to the eastern mountains, you spy the end of the bridge jutting a short way over the valley, and beyond it you catch the flash of water, Lake Il-Klala. Somehow, then, you must climb those mountains if you mean to continue your journey. Something rustles in the weeds nearby. I will search for weeds. You approach the bushes, then freeze. A pair of eyes is staring back. I don't have a chakram. What? Why is that option available to me? I do have a chakram! So a chakram is an Indian throwing disc, kind of like a hoop. It was bizarrely popularized in Xena Warrior Princess, which should be pronounced Xena, because there's no bloody Z in it. This is a rare opportunity. Draw the silver sword. Cast but listen. I am not going to jump off the bridge. That would be foolish. Air Serpent. How about I draw the silver sword? Thankfully, despite your lack of a sword, you are not totally defenseless. Why was the draw your sword option available? Would I then be told you don't have a sword? You didn't. You pull the short sword from your pack and attack. The creature is so surprised it leaps backwards, and a sudden shift in the light causes the bridge to disappear for just a moment. The creature in the bushes shrieks. The voice is human. I'll apologize. My apologies for attacking you, you say hastily. Is this the assassin? And now he's allowed to kill me. Now, if I recognize that voice, replies the figure crouched in the bushes, then it is not the first time. You go over to the bushes and spread them apart with one arm. Lying a shadow inside shadow is a human figure on its front. It looks up at you with eyes just visible through a cloth mask. Now there, purrs the figure. Now there, purrs the figure, is a face I have not forgotten. You stare in surprise. It is Flanker. The assassin jumps ably to his feet and then brushes himself down. Well met. And he's now allowed to kill me. Are you following me? I am ahead of you, Flanker replies. You can see the wilds of the Baklands have been harsh on the assassin. His eyes burn with a hollow fire. How did you get here? You continue. To this bridge. He answers with a fanatic's precision. I leapt across the Badubak Gorge. I climbed the Badubak Ridge and used my climbing hooks to descend into the trees. I have killed 7 snattercats before I found this bridge in which to take shelter. He nods once. How have you made the journey? By means of beacons. I feel it's only fair to tell him. We have been on friendly terms most of the times we've met. The beacons, he demands. You have used the magic of the Archmage? Then no doubt he is sending birdmen as we speak to have your head. Oh, that's an interesting twist, if using the beacons too much. I mean, it's like using magic in Middle-earth during the 4th Age. I think it's the 4th Age. Sauron notices when other people are using magic, so they prefer not to, because he will generally send Nazgul to investigate. As he speaks, he draws his sword and runs 2 gloved fingertips along its length, honing the edge. I have kept moving. Faster than a bird, Flanker shakes his head in a single movement. You are reckless, Analand. Foolish. What do you know of the 7 serpents? You ask. Once more, you need my help, Flanker remarks coolly. I know nothing of the serpents. Nothing at all. My path is to avoid these serpents. They do not hunt me, and I do not seek them. I have already begun to destroy them. Then the ones that remain will be more certain to find you and swallow you whole. I regret to remind you of this, but I thought your debt to me was cleared. I assure you it is, he nods. We travel to the same destination, but not the same goal. So he could be going to slay the Archmage, or to slay me and prevent me, he grimaces. Analand, I do not mean you ill, but time spent with you is most dangerous. Why then? Apart from the fact that birdmen from Zaman could be coming to attack me. Help me before you go. You demand. I saved your life once. Flanker considers a moment, then nods. In truth, I know something of your serpents. A black elf whom I killed for her supplies told me that the time serpent cannot be defeated. It may be true, it may not, I cannot be sure. With a final salute, 2 fingers drawn across the neck in the manner of his guild, Flanker straps his sword to his back and swings himself onto a pillar. With enviable speed, he scrambles up to the top of the bridge. The last you see of him is a figure in black leaping away to the east. I will now look at the bridge as I previously intended. You pause to admire the arches holding up the layer above, graceful giant stones stacked with unerring precision. Whoever built this must have been 3 times the size of the largest hill giant and yet as dexterous as a weaver. Given the small size of the bricks, they might have just erected an insane amount of scaffolding and had some giant cranes. Scratched into the stone, you see a small insignia. The giant stone pillars cast long shadows. Indeed, time is passing. The emblem forms the shape of a jagged peak. You recognize it, of course, from your training. It is the jagged rocks of High Salmon, on which stands the fortress of the Archmage. These stones were sent by salmon magic then. It is said the Archmage is old, but surely not so old as to have overseen this. The people in Khare literally said he protected their village and kept them safe. I will climb higher to see what I can find on top of the bridge. You look out at the side of the bridge for handholds to the top, but can find nothing that looks safe enough. What, can't use any spells? It seems this is as high as you will be able to climb. Birds wheel and turn between the stones above. You swing yourself back off the bridge onto the pillar. Your arms are somewhat rested, but quickly start to burn once more. You will have to return quickly to the ground. I can't cast a spell and drift down. Slowly, painstakingly, you make your way back down and retrieve your weapon. There are several directions in which you could continue. Let's start with a prayer, just in case. Kurga has heard you and you feel better. And then, southwest is where the flames were. You head west, following the line of the bridge into the trees. Where are you, Fire Serpent? I have sand for you. The path winds tortuously through the forest. The sun is beginning to lower. The air begins to cool. With the sun filtering through the leaves, the walk through the woods is pleasant. Strange trees and bushes line the path, and every now and then you catch a glimpse of birds singing in the branches. I will absolutely forage for supplies, even though the snattercats might get me. You pause to forage between the trees just off the main path. I'll look at the bushes. You scour the low bushes. A few have berries that look ripe and good to eat. Another, larger bush has wide, leathery leaves which might be useful for something. You see nothing else. I will take some berries. You gather a handful of berries and put them in your pack. You hear a rustling in the bushes nearby. Snatter cat, where have you been? I've been following you with my eyes shut. Nothing to do with a queen. I'll take the leaves. You break off one of the leathery 6-lobed leaves and roll it into your pack. I'll look in the trees. You walk between the trees. There's a bird's nest in one, just above head height. I shouldn't... No. I won't go stealing birds' eggs. That's immoral. I'll look on the ground, though. Scouring the ground, you come across several pebbles and a small pile of sand. A serpent? Suddenly, something you do not see what erupts from a nearby bush, bowling you over. Before you can react, the thing has sunk teeth into your shoulder and is dragging you through the trees. I want to cast a spell. I'll shake myself free. Will I manage this? I'm being dragged bodily through the undergrowth. Do I have the power to break free? Not necessarily. What kind of spells could be available to me? And if I'm being moved at such a Ooh. Yes, do it. You craft the spell and reach out to take control of the creature's mind. The spell works, and a moment later the claws are released. Order the creature to reveal itself. You order the creature to reveal itself, and it slowly materializes. A moment later, a snattercat is standing before you. The spell is wearing thin, however, as the creature, realizing it is exposed, yelps and races away into the trees. Well, if I bugger off in another direction really quickly... Hey, I was going that way! It's dragged me over here! Whoa! Yes! You pick yourself to your feet and look around. The smell of rotting leaf mulch fills your nostrils. You catch a glimpse of a bright red snake through the trees. It seems to be watching you. I am going for it. Be the fire serpent. Be the fire serpent. You approach the snake, but it slips away between the trees. Bugger! Well, look, I want to go southwest, right? Which should be from here, which should be like this way. Over here. Probably this side of the mountain ridge. I'm going to have to retrace my bloody steps, bastard thing. Right. You walk on between the trees. The wind picks up as the evening draws on. You return to the shadow of the old stone bridge. Hey, if I rest it... Why can't I go this way? Right. Do I have to go this way? To go that way. The looming shadow of the bridge fills your vision. You pause when the path branches. Time to move on. So yes, I do. So this flag is really down there on the joint. You head west, following the line of the bridge into the trees. I have a fire serpent to chase. Or rather, pursue. You trace what might be a path and might be an old river through the trees of the forest. The sun is now in the lowest quarter of the sky. It'll be night soon. You stride onwards. I also hope to rest soon, and then maybe the fire serpent will come. You crash through thick trees, using the hewing axe to open up a path. I have an axe now? Oh, I got it from the builders, didn't I? You pause as a thin, red-coloured snake glides across your path. This, I suspect still, is the fire serpent in disguise, right? Looking like a normal snake. So, I saw the fire serpent somewhere over here. I came down here. I got dragged over to here. Red snake hiding in the trees. Red snake here as well. It's following me, trying to avoid detection. I think I do want to just, like, stab it. Stabby stab. You draw your sword to skewer the snake, but it is too fast for you, twisting and turning to escape the blade and disappearing into the foliage. I will follow it! It is truly remarkably intelligent for a serpent. The snake reaches the foot of a tree and coils around the trunk. I will watch. Reveal yourself, serpent. As you watch, the snake slithers quickly up the trunk. A moment later, its head drops down from a branch to stare at you. I will approach the tree. You approach the tree, catching a glimpse of a thick red band in the branches. Then suddenly the whole thing erupts into flame. Perfect! I will leap back. I don't want to catch fire. Fire serpent! Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun! Ugh! Ah! Oh! Detective brain thinking head was working there a tiny little bit. You jump back, but as soon as it began, the fire goes out, leaving a badly charred tree. Looking up into the branches, you see the red snake peering down at you. It has grown tenfold in size, and 2 fiery wings are now folded across its back. Sly eyes watch your movements as if deciding its next attack. You stare in fear. You stare in shock and fear. This blaze of hissing fury must be the fire serpent. I will use an item! Oh, wait! No! No, no! Do something else. I wanted to cast a quicksand spell on it with the sand. If this is the fire serpent, then its weakness must be sand. The creature watches you cautiously. I want to wait for it to come out of the tree and onto the ground. This may be dumb. Bugger! It was dumb. Right, yeah, so totally dumb. I didn't realise that was a last opportunity. So, retrace. And repeat. Be the fire serpent. Yes, goad it into action. Use an item. Bag of sand, and use that sand. Yeah. Snake twist to one side. Luckily you have more. Okay, so do something else. Climb the tree? Climb the tree. Okay, so you toss the sand at the creature, but in the branch overhead it is too far away. The snake twists to one side and the sand scatters to the ground. Luckily you have more. This is gonna be so dumb! You clamber up into the tree, but the serpent drops down in response. It begins to open its jaws, and I chuck sand into its gaping mouth. You empty your hand, scattering sand across the creature's back. Just as it begins to breathe out a column of fire. The creature's fire is extinguished immediately, and the sand seems to burn and burrow into the creature's hide. Its wings decay and fall to the ground. I will drop from the tree and attack the fire serpent, which now is seriously messed up. Sword drawn, with my reduced combat skill. No walks, I'm taking... It does not have a thick, scaly hide. If I go to like about a 5 or 6, call it a 5.3. Bugger. But when it defends, it defends. Flames surround the serpent as it launches itself towards you. You lift your blade high, hoping to strike down into its scaly hide. The serpent rears back and you cannot land more than a passing blow. The flames around the creature flicker a deep, dark red. The creature flies up into the air, even though its wings fell off, opening its jaws wide and baring teeth like daggers. Clearly a combat that is designed to, you know... Okay. Or maybe its wings began to wither and it dropped to the ground. Go for about a 3. 2.8. Yeah, all right. Oh, look at that. That is amazing. This comes roaring in, breathing gouts of flame. Then the trees are alight with flame, and the heat is unbearable. You stab, but the fire serpent's wings batter punishingly at you. You stagger back across the clearing into a tree. The fire licks the edges of the serpent's mouth. I should defend. And I'm glad that I did. The flames lapping around the creatures draw sweat from your brow. You drop back as the serpent arcs forwards. Quickly sidestepping, the creature smashes into the bushes behind, sending up a wall of sparks. The creature coils its scaly body. Coiling to launch for an attack, I think. I don't think it's like defensively, trying to protect itself with its own body. Turning its armored spine towards me. I have a bad feeling about this, but let's... It attacked, so big damage. The flames around the serpent seem to dull for a moment. You spin about, blade high above your head. The serpent is rearing back, but you catch it as it retreats. Short blue flames appear from between the creature's scales. The creature's claws draw inwards. Oh, it is going for me. I am absolutely defending. What? That was like a Megadeth massive blue hot flame gas nuclear explosion gonna mangle you with my claws of death attack, and it was a 0. Something. What? It's low on energy, which means it's probably going to defend, so if I go for something like that, it can't beat me, and I can still get a hit in. For a moment, it seems like the creature is recovering its strength. You jab and step back. The fire serpent rears back, escaping the worst of your blow. The fearsome serpent rears to its full height up into the air, and... Roar! Yes! Your only hope is to keep up the attack. You do not hold back. You strike forward, committing all your weight to the blow. The fire serpent's eyes turn coal black, and it looks up at you, questioning, helpless in the final second before it turns to a dark, dead husk. 4 stamina loss. Skilled swordplay. Okay. You step back, wiping your brow, sword heavy in your hand. You have now defeated 2 of the 7 serpents. Your good cheer is tempered by the knowledge that you have barely begun to defeat your enemies. There are, after all, still 5 serpents left. You move on through the trees, hoping to find somewhere to rest before the night. I'm not going to have another sleepless night, am I? Things move in the canopy all around you. Another night begins. You should find a place to sleep, especially after so long walking with an empty belly. You creep forwards through the dark towards an area of thick, curling bushes that look like claws in the gloom. Sounds like an extremely painful place to rest, but I absolutely need to. If I push on, I'm not sure I'll be given another good resting option. Wait, what? You lay your pack down and settle to sleep under the cover of one of the bushes. As you lay your head down, you imagine you feel a hand reaching down and gently stroking your head. Something tells me that's not a hand. You open one eye to see the branches of the bush above you nodding against your brow. It is just the breeze. Is it? Look, can I at least eat something? I don't seem to be eating something. Big risk. Nope. No. Yeah, evil bush of death. Just a dream, no doubt. The gentle caress continues along with the whispering shing sound. Shing sound of vibrating leaves. You settle into a deep sleep, but for some reason you will never know. You never awake. You died mysteriously in your sleep. Yeah, look, that... bad stuff. I did say I'd rest, open my eyes, change my sleeping place. Still, you do not trust it. Getting back to your feet, you go to sleep somewhere else, and trip over. One of the tendrils of the bush is caught around your foot. I will cut it free. You draw your sword and hack away at the bush branches, but they seem to sense the threat. Oh! This is that bush plant in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 1st Edition that tries to kill people, isn't it, I think? You draw your sword and hack away the branches, but they seem to sense the threat. Long wooden tendrils whip out, grasping your wrists and arms. You cannot swing your sword now, and meanwhile another tendril is looping itself around your neck. I have a spell to control plants and pests. I don't have the thing for it. You look to the heavens to cast a spell, but your arms are held fast by the strangle bush, and so you cannot craft any magic. The vice-like grip tightens. It is beginning to pull your body in two directions. What items do I have that might be... essence of bark? A hewing axe, my arms are restricted. A vial of poison might be good against plants, probably designed for animals and people. Essence of bark sounds like a really good idea right now. You tilt your head down to peek into your pack. Perhaps you can get at something from in there more easily than pulling your sword. Essence of bark! With shaking, reaching fingertips, you reach into the bag and manage to snag the essence of bark between two fingers. Lift it out or pull the stopper. If I lift it out, it might get knocked out of my hand. Pull the stopper, I might spill it in my pack. Do it. Twisting your wrist, you manage to work the stopper free. The vial falls, pouring over the inside of your bag. The reaction from the strangle bush is immediate. The branches unwind and you are released. It seems it only attacks animals, but the scent of the essence is strong enough to confuse it. You step clear of the retreating tendrils defiantly, and I imagine that, yes, trying to pull it out of the bag would have resulted in me dropping it or something. I need to... East? 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 This is east. This is like... That's more like... That's south-southeast at best. Come on. I can go back north again, but there's no opportunity to rest there. East it is. I'm not going to get to rest tonight, am I? Oh, joy. The path winds tortuously through the forest. You still feel shaky from your encounter with the strangle bush. The trees are alive with movement. You hear a soft padding sound on the path behind you. I'll turn around. Draw my sword, wise, but turning also. You whip around, expecting to see something terrible at your back, but there is nothing here. Your path is quite empty. Who's there? In case it's flanker. You shout, but it seems you are quite alone. You turn back and start to walk once more. The padding noise begins once more, but more quietly until you lose track of it. You continue on your journey despite the dark. I'm going to pray again, just in case. No, Korga is sitting back, contentedly asleep, and unwilling to aid you now. Look, I want to eat and sleep. You walk on between the trees. More stars come out, and here I shall rest. Putting down your pack by the roots of a tree, you try to rest despite the strange noises that float across the landscape. You have eaten nothing today, and you have a few provisions remaining. I will absolutely gobble something up. Taking the smoked fish from your pack, you fill your empty stomach. Then you close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. You wake suddenly. There is a flapping of dark wings from overhead. A giant bat is circling above you. Your journey has been plagued by these creatures. Spell. Spell, spell, spell. Spell. Zap. Walk. Sass. I mean, I think I've got a pretty good idea what the danger is, right? An invisible wall. I mean, if the wall could be created above me, even so, it won't last forever. No. Zen. I do not have this. I mean, I could just lightning bolt, pop a rock. Yeah, I'm gonna pop a rock. Wait, Pep, I do not have firewater. Gonna throw a pebble at it. Reaching up to the stars, you create the magic over one of your pebbles. Then you lob the stone at the bat. It explodes on impact, and when the smoke clears, the air above you is quite empty. Now can I sleep? In the forest, day 10. During the past day, you reached the forest of Snatta, met Flanker once more, and you defeated the fire serpent, meaning that there are now only 5 serpents remaining. You get to your feet, cloak wet with dew. You march forwards. But I believe I shall march into the next episode, because this one, it's a nice length. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode with the glorious defeat of the fire serpent and my somewhat excessive exuberance at finally having done so. And I will look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'm going to say goodbye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone. See you all next time.